So just like inverted forks, rated calipers and single-sided swing arms, this technology was born at the racetrack to help get better lap times. But this technology has trickled down to the streets and we can see this in many street bikes. Electronic quickshifters help by allowing you to upset without pulling the clutch or rolling off the throttle. It works by cutting the ignition for a short amount of time, allowing the gearbox to get rid of load and at that short time you can change the gear. So these are the components you will be needing to make your quickshifter. You need two relays, one capacitor and one limit switch, and some wires and some basic tools. So as you can see, this is your circuit diagram of your quickshifter. You get positive and negative at the bottom, which comes from your bike's battery, and the positive rails goes up, connects to a switch, and before that goes directly to your one normally closed output of your relay. As you can see on your relay, you get three output pins. The middle one goes to the positive side of your capacitor, and the normally closed pin goes directly to your positive side of the battery. The two pins on the bottom are your coils, which is used to activate the relay, and the one side goes to the ground and the second side goes to the switch and then the positive side. So the positive side comes and connects to your normally closed side of your relay, and through that it charges the capacitor. On the capacitor, the negative side goes directly to ground, and on the other side, on the second relay, as you can see, the two output of the coils, one goes to your ground and the second goes to normally open side of your first relay. So when you press the switch, the first relay fires and disconnects the capacitor from your battery and connects it to your second relay, which powers the second relay to open for a little bit. And the output of the second relay is just used to bypass the ignition coil of your bike. So this is a quickshifter that I have made, and you guys can see this working in one of my previous videos. And I have used this pre-built relay board because these already have those pinouts for wires, so it makes the whole process much easier. So these are the positive and negative wires which connects to a battery, and this is your capacitors. We can change the value of capacitor to increase or decrease the downtime of your quickshifter. And these are the output wires of the second relay, which goes and bypasses your ignition time. And on the other side, I've used the limit switch and a very thin black wire so it doesn't bulge out, and I added a connector so it makes it easier to install on the bike. So here you can see the quickshifter on a circuit emulator app. The green lines represent when I press the switch, and the purple line represents the cutoff time of the quickshifter. And on the other right side, the 5V battery and the bulb and everything is just to represent the engine. It doesn't have to do anything with your quickshifter. The quickshifter powers mainly from your bike's battery. It doesn't require any other step down voltage or anything else. So as you can see, it doesn't matter for how long I'm pressing the button, the purple line cutoff, the quickshifter cutoff is set for just the same amount of time. And you can change this cutoff time by changing the value of the capacitor, but be sure to always use a capacitor which is rated over 12V. I'm using a 50V 47 microfarad capacitor, which works great for me at around 9,500 RPMs. For your bike, if you want to change the cutoff time, you can experiment with your capacitor. This is the reason I've left the capacitor hanging outside. So in the future, if you want to increase or decrease the cutoff time, you can easily change the capacitor. So this quickshifter design is purely analog, which means you don't need to use any microcontroller or anything. This makes it easier to install and make. So the beauty of this setup is, in an unlikely case, if the relay or the capacitor failed, then the bike is not going to stop running because the both relays are in normally closed position and then they only open when you press the switch to give them power. So thanks all of you guys for watching this video, and I will be making an in-depth video on how to install this on my RR310 PS6, and I will be making more videos on this topic in the future, so please subscribe and like, and if you have any questions please leave it down in the comments, and I will see you next time.